Yeah, so today I wanted to do something different. I actually
Cool.
wanted to make this a little bit of an appreciation for the work that you do. And
Oh,
after
thank you.
listening to your story that you shared, right? I mean, how it was challenging for you not too long ago, and how this year has been excellent and the strides that you made in the career. So I just wanted to share my appreciation. Of course, uh, I would say I started following you maybe back in 2012, 13. And this is back when I was just scrounging through the internet, just trying to read some good articles on 49ers. And at that time, I felt that your articles were always the most interesting for me to read. And that was primarily because I felt that while there was a lot of articles online, the English, I mean, the way you were narrating the story
Oh,
and
thank
the
you.
way, yeah, the way you articulated your opinions, I felt that I really enjoyed reading that, and of course your dad's as well.
Thank you.
So again, that was one, and then the second thing that I wanted to make is the other reason I like to follow you is because of the intellect aspect that is associated with everything that you do. And I know that you and your dad have talked about it, right? And that's something that I really appreciate. A lot of times people on Twitter interpret it as like, hey, this is just argument. This is just like you're doing
Mhm.
things to grab the clicks. But
Right.
I always felt that the reason I liked following you was because it makes you think. And
Thank you.
I feel, again, football as a game is the main reason I follow the game is because of the intellect aspect that is involved in it. And it's not just about the X's and O's, like which is like wonderful, but also about the fact that, I mean, you guys talk about like, hey, what is going through the players' minds, what is going through the
Yes.
coach's mind,
The
and that
psychological aspect, the
the
personalities.
psychological
Yeah.
aspect and what Bill Walsh was thinking. I always felt that intellect aspect was something that again I enjoy the most. And then the last one, what I want to say is like the thing that I really like, and which I feel that, again, at least in my opinion, separates you from a lot of other reporters, is your ability to listen to what everybody says out there, right? And again, I think that I feel is a very key attribute, because again, I work in the Silicon Valley in high tech and all of that stuff. Like, but one of the key things that we always talk about is the ability to listen. And I feel that you are exceptional in that, in terms of like how you can synthesize all the different information, the way you listen to all your fans. I feel is phenomenal. And
Oh,
then the
so thank you.
yeah, yeah, and
Well,
then
let
the
me say
final,
real quick,
yeah,
what I want to say, what people don't know about Sai is Sai's been watching since before I had a YouTube channel, since I was on Periscope and it was like
yeah,
30 people. And Sai always felt that Sai was as perceptive and smart as anyone who was in contact when watching me. And I always love to listen to Sai because he's brilliant and has his own perspective. And I do like listening to fans, but like you're the original. Like you are the original guys. Like, I don't know who this dude is, but he is brilliant. And I want to know what he thinks about the 49ers. So thank you for sticking around and coming on the show.
yeah,
So
absolutely. And it
yeah.
was my pleasure. And the reason I stuck, Grant, I really appreciate you reciprocating. And the reason I stuck is because I felt that you always made me think. Because I think that's the fun part. I mean, one part is, of course, you're a fan, but also the reason I follow this game is because of the intellect aspect that is associated with it. Because you always want to like get your creative juices flowing, and I always felt that, I mean, the way you bring out all the different aspects, it just gets creative juices going. And a lot of times, of course, like during the day I find it difficult to keep up, like, but I always try to see like, hey, what is there in your mind? And then
And I feel like
the
the
fine,
people who gravitate to this
yeah,
channel and stuff are people who are open minded and like to listen as well and like different viewpoints. And so when we all get on here in the Cone phone, like we
right,
all learn.
yeah,
I like
exactly.
it's a very specific kind of fan.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, you just like love that debate, and just it makes you think. And then the last one, which I really appreciate you, is like, I mean, the way you're giving opportunities to all these
Oh,
young
thank you.
people. I mean, starting with Wish, and it almost feels like you have the ability to spot talent, which again is a big thing in the companies that where I work. And how you identify that young talent and how do you give opportunities, right? And I feel that again you're doing a phenomenal job in just like giving opportunity to so many people who want to start their careers, which again I feel that as a mentorship is phenomenal. And again, I just wanted to share this because I see so many parallels between like what happens in a technology firm and like in any corporate world to what you're doing. And of course, like what you're doing is, it's again extremely a lot more challenging because I mean, as we all know, it's highly competitive to be a sports writer, and the amount of hard work you got to put in. I almost feel that I look at you and get a sense for that. Yeah.
It's basically impossible to break into
Yeah.
the sports writing community.
Yep.
And what I'm trying to do, I feel like I've created a new lane, and I'm trying to show people like you don't have to wait for the Athletic to call you up when you're 45. You don't have to struggle your whole life. You can do this too. And I like to be able to get all these people their starts. And just I mean, look at how Vish has taken off in 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the
It's
talent
amazing.
and you have the work ethic, boom, it goes fast.
Exactly.
And honestly, Sai, if you wanted to do it, you could do it too. I have a feeling you kind of know what you're doing in life, but you were the original, man. You could do this.
Yeah.
If you
I
wanted
mean,
to.
again, I just feel that I probably don't have the time commitment to do it because I respect the work that you do, and for me it's about following. I would love to. I just love these conversations, and I love to talk about this with you because again, purely from an intellect perspective. But I just feel that I would not be fair to a lot of other people like who are spending a lot more time because like my full-time job is of course like on in the tech industry, and I spend way too much time.
Well, I got to
But
say, every
definitely,
time I do the Cohn phone, like an hour before, I'm like, I wonder if Sai's going to call in today. I hope
yeah.
Sai calls in, and I'm curious what he's thinking. And that's
Yeah,
basically like, I don't know if I'm great at spotting talent. I listen to a lot of sports talk, and I know when people are just regurgitating stuff they had heard other places, and I know when someone has something to say. And I like people who have something to say. I just do. And it can be way different than me, but if you make me think, then you should come on the show. And you always do. You always do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a fun part. Yeah, just keep up the great work. And again, I just wanted to make this a little bit different, share my appreciation.
I really appreciate it, Sai. You're the greatest,
for the work that you do. And it was really good to see the story. A lot of times we don't realize. I mean, I could always sense that sports making it in the sports writing industry is extremely challenging, sports media. But I mean, just listening to your story and seeing you sort of like come a long way. And like you said, you're making your own lane, right? Which would be like very similar to a startup in tech industry or Silicon Valley. You got to find your own way, and it's great
because there's like two jobs. There's like two jobs, and they just. I mean, you got to go independent. I think at this point.